Okay, like I was saying before, I'm gonna get into this whole thing because I don't know what's up with my camera. My camera just keep cutting off. So we're gonna read this whole paragraph right here about the 400 years and all like that. And then later on, I'm gonna come back and read the whole chapter. But for right now, we want to get straight to the point and we want to clear all this up. People keep telling us we're not the children of Israel. Acts 7 and Acts 21 speaks differently from what you guys are saying. So as it says here, and the high priest said, "Are these things so?" And Stephen said, "Brothers and fathers, hear me. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia before he lived in Haran." Mesopotamia is the land of the Chaldeans, as you read further, and said to him, "Go out of your country and from your kindred and go into a land that I will show you." And he went out of the land of the Chaldeans and lived in Haran. Mesopotamia was the land of the Chaldeans because that's where he lived, where he was in before he lived in Haran. And after his father died, God removed him from there into this land which you are now living, which is in Egypt. Yet he gave him no inheritance in it. I mean, not Egypt, but Haran, I believe, or I think they're in Egypt. I'm not sure where they're at right now. I'm going to look into the whole thing about that when I read this whole chapter out later. Yet he gave him no inheritance in it, even a foot's length, but promised to give it. Yeah, I guess this is Egypt, all that land over there that he told him he was going to give him. But promised to give it to him as a possession and to his offspring after him, though he had no child. And God spake to this effect that his offspring would be sojourners in a land belonging to others who would enslave them. These are the key clues that you need to pay attention to. Okay. He said a land belonging to others who would enslave them and afflict them. How many years? 400 years. So when we talk about this 400-year prophecy and you guys say that it's total BS, you're blaspheming the words written in this book because they are written, but no one wants to talk about that because they know once they talk about it and they go into the research behind it, who is it going to tie out to? So again, the game stopped now. And he said, they would enslave them and afflict them 400 years, but I will judge the nation that they serve, said God. After that, they shall come out and worship me in this place, in Egypt and stuff, right? And he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abram became the father of Isaac, and Isaac circumcised him on the 8th day. And Isaac became the father of Jacob, and Jacob of the 12 patriarchs. Okay, so the 12 tribes. Okay, now it says that they were going to enslave us 400 years, right? Remember what Nick said about the Jews being carried away in chains. Okay, so let's do this. Let's type in Jews carried away in chains. Go. Oops. Carried away in chains. Images. And then they show you all these images of these people, right? But not one of them are they being carried away in chains. Okay? Look what I put up here. Jews carried away in chains. I don't see anywhere in their history where, they're carried away in chains here. All it shows us is this, right? All it shows us is this. And then they give you the real image where all Israelites deported, right? So look at this. Where are their chains at? I don't see them anywhere in chains in history. Now, this is what I find funny. Let's go to slavery. Let's go here. Black slaves in chains. Okay. Watch this. 504 slaves in chains, photos and all like that, right? So you mean to tell me that prophecy doesn't mean this, right? It doesn't mean this, right? Give me a break. This isn't what the prophecy was talking about, huh? This ain't what they were talking about back then, huh? Just like when he said he brought them into ship, right? Just like he said, look at this. You said the Jews were carried away in chains. Okay, I didn't see. Let's see here. Let's do this again. Let's just do this. Now let's do Jewish, because it should bring it up in history, right? I mean, you guys tying everything else but this, right? Because you know that they wasn't carried away in chains. It doesn't fit them, so why are you making it apply? Here they are partying, putting away these tablets and stuff. Here they are in concentration camps, but they're not in chains. They're in camps. 400 years of slavery and lynchings, right? Remember it says in the Bible, right? Since everybody knows, this is in Galatians and in Deuteronomy 21 in the curses, right? Galatians 3:13 says Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us, for it is written, curses everyone that hangeth on a tree. So if the Israelites, right, if the biblical Israelites were indeed cursed, and it says, cursed is anyone who hangs on a tree, right? Let's just put slavery lynchings for a minute here, not the 400 years, and see what that brings up. Cursed is every man. And look at this. You guys say that, those Jews over there suffered more than we had. Well, were they tied, hung, beat, shot, and nailed to a tree? No. Look at this. Men of fierce countenance, right? Give me a break. Look at this. Cursed is every man, everyone. Did the Jews hang from a tree? And look, this is how they did us back then. But oh no, them Jews went through the worst. Those so-called Jews, right? Just like Black Wall Street, right? Black Wall Street. Nobody don't want to go into this stuff, right? When it says, you shall not prosper in your ways, right? And what does this say here? This is when my people had their own community, and we tried to come together and build our own, economy, because we was being done wrong so much. But no. Let's go here. It says here that, this is a story. You guys could go look this up. I'll link this in the descriptions. Okay. Right. Minimum wage, so it says we had to endure harsh cruelty. We was paid lowly, right? And then it talks about that, this, let's see here. Accounts vary on what happened between Page and Roland, because this black guy, Roland, was accused of raping a white woman, right? And he didn't do it, right? But the woman lied on him. So this is what happened to my people. Yet as the result of the whatever I'm trying to say it right, Tribune racially inflammatory report, black and white armed mobs arrived at the courthouse. Scuffles broke out and shots were fired. Since the blacks were outnumbered, right, because he made us small among the heathen, since the blacks were outnumbered, they headed back to Greenwood, but the enraged whites were not far behind, looting and burning businesses and homes along the way. 9,000 people became homeless. Josie Pickens writes in Ebony, this modern, majestic, sophisticated, and apologetically black community boasted of banks, hotels, cafes, clothiers, movie theaters, and contemporary homes. Not to mention luxuries such as indoor plumbing and remarkable school system that superiorly educated black children. Undoubtedly, Undoubtedly, less fortunate white neighbors represented their upper class lifestyle as a result of a jealous desire to put progressive, high achieving African Americans in their place, like you guys are doing now. A wave of domestic white terrorism caused black dispossession. The creation of a powerful black community known as Black Wall Street was intentional. In 1906, O.W. Gurley, a wealthy African American from Arkansas, moved to Tulsa to purchase over 40 acres of land that he made sure was only sold to only African Americans' rights, whatever, because of the slavery thing. We was getting lynched and beaten, robbed and stolen and killed and murdered and hung and all that stuff. Burnt out our homes back then, right? So it says that they tried to prosper, and here it is. These African American economic status could not save them from the racial hostility of their day. Greenwood survivors recount disturbing details about what really happened that night. Eyewitness claims the area was bombed with kerosene and or nitroglycerin, causing the inferno to rage more aggressively. Official accounts state that private planes were on reconnaissance missions that were surveying the area to see what happened. So it says here, despite the economic damage, Hannibal Johnson, author of Black Wall Street, From Riot to Renaissance in Tulsa's historic Greenwood district, explains that neither the survivors nor their families ever received the reparations suggested by the Tulsa Race Riot Commission. So this is why they got the HR 1242, right? Let's get into that bill, since nobody wants to look up these bills and bring this truth out. Everybody wants to be acting like they know it all. Well, you got to explain to me, guys, why is Congress find our 400 years of slavery so important? I told people to look this bill up, but nobody didn't want to look it up. The 400 years ended in 2019, and it states here, this bill establishes the 400 years of African American history commissions to develop and carry out activities throughout the United States to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the arrival of the Africans in the English colonies at Point Comfort, Virginia in 1619. Well, guess what? Since after 2019, which is that 400-year marker, why is America getting judged so harsh? Why is the Most High got it out for America right now? Let's see here. How many hurricanes, we know God controls the weather. How many hurricanes hit the Americas, hit America 2020? Okay, how many hurricanes? 6 hurricanes. 12 unmatched 12 named storms, 6 hurricanes, landfall, so it caused devastation. Tropical storms, hurricanes 13, major hurricanes 6, and it's caused all that damage. 2020 Atlantic hurricane season, and they say this is the worst ever, and it's only going to get worse. Why? Because the Most High is judging this nation and all the other nations, okay? So when it says, a whirlwind shall land on the head of the wicked in the latter days, you will understand perfectly, right? A whirlwind from the Lord, King James Version. You guys don't never read this stuff, right? Jeremiah 30, it says, let's go here, Jeremiah 30:23, go down to here and just get to this part. It says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they call thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seek after. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded up upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. and out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, like before time, and their congregation shall be established before me. And I will punish them. I will punish all that oppress them. So, hey, you guys want to keep oppressing us? Do you want that punishment too? Because it's going to become clear down here. And their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause them to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engage his heart to approach unto me, saith the Lord? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind, and it shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he have done and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. Okay, so it talks about in the later days. It didn't say right then and there. It said in the latter days, which means in the end days, you shall consider it. So are we not in the end days right now? Are his people not still being held captive? Is not the 400 years up? Is not America getting judged? So answer these questions. Go into the history, and then you'll find out the truth. Stop tearing us down because we believe in this 400-year prophecy that is being fulfilled. Shalom.